when it drop, whole game in the chokehold. Chillax, 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 chillax. Chillax, 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 chillax. Chillax, 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 chillax. Chillax, 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 chillax. Relax, 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 relax. Oh, relax, 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 relax. Oh, relax, 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 relax. Oh, relax, 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 relax. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop, whole game in the chokehold.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor at M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the Oakland Raiders. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. Well, when you think of these two teams, two franchises, Baltimore and Oakland, Charles, what comes to mind?
Well, the ghost to the post in the late 1970s, but remember, that was the Baltimore Colts, who are now in Indianapolis. These are the Ravens, who came from Cleveland and formerly were the Browns.
They also have some history, though. The Ravens, between these two teams, won an AFC championship game in 2001. Also beat a Derek Carless Raiders 30-17 in Oakland a year ago. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Working from the gun, it's Carr. He's going to wind up and air it out. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The former first-round pick Marlon Humphrey there to get a hand on it.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Steps away to his left. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. On On second down, here's Jackson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Marshall. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet. But right now where we stand, in first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a rush coming, and he's taken down. Pernell McPhee. Not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. 29. From the gun, it's Carr. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Carr intercepted by Brandon Carr. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
After the interception, here's Jackson. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One-handed. Love the effort. Not much production on that play, though, huh?
Not a whole lot of yardage. You get that grab, you probably want a first down.
And he'll be the one in the film session if he's saying, hey, run that one back, coach.
Yeah.
Run that one back.
One more time.
Let's see that
2
again.
more time.
And they won't.
8 more times.
They won't. Didn't get much out of it.
Now Jackson on 2nd down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Nevin Lawson with a pick. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. The UCLA product, Kenny Young, had the tackle.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
On 2nd down, here's Carr. Going for the deep ball. He's got a man complete. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Martavis Bryant, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders have taken the early lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
And there's the first tackle of the game for Carl Joseph. He's one of those safeties that you can utilize in any way you want. But I will have to say, I think the number one thing he does best is tackle.
Now let's go. Blue landed.
Ingram again, a first down carry. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Lucky 56. Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Gone.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing is Jackson. He's going deep for Brown, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
That's fielded at the 8-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Now a handoff looking right, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. They're facing a tough spot, 3rd and 8 here to start things out. Shotgun now for Carr. Going up top. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
They had enough yards for the first down, but a clutch hit right there defensively. Jars it free. No first down.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 2nd down, Jackson. Caught right side, it's Snead. And this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on them.
They go play action here on first down. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 48 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Now it's Jackson, and he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Lamar Jackson, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying the football game. Tucker with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Dalvin away and bring up second down.
And an alley to run. And avoids the contact by sliding. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for third down. And that'll set him back 5. Not ideal there. That delay of game backs them up 5 yards, so now they need 7 yards on third down. From the gun, Carr. He gets it to Brown, complete. They convert on third with a gain of 22. A good grab there by the former Central Michigan man, Antonio Brown.
And he ate up some real estate on the catch, too, didn't he? I think the most impressive part of it, though, if there's a chance for him to get the football, even though he was covered well, he somehow finds a way to get it.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. He'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll bring up a second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here's Carr to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Now he'll escape to his right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Ryan Grant, the intended target. And now it's second down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
6:37.
Carr again here on 2nd and 10. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. On 1st down, Carr. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The tight end, Luke Wilson, was the target. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now Carr, and he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. To play in a tightly contested first half. We're back to Baltimore after this. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Operating from the gun, Carr. And too much on that one. It's out of the back of the end zone, incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground. Now they're likely to force a field goal attempt.
The kick by Carlson is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Ravens taking the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeing.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. And that one results in 35 yards. They toss to Ingram. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Play action. Now Jackson. It's complete to Brown, right side. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Ravens are in for 6. So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open, he has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So out come the Raiders. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But you also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Carr now on first down. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. The Raiders try to move quickly, try to get everybody back to the line.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely he's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. A couple of first downs have them to the 40 now on 1st and 10. Now a play fake. Carr. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1.
Here we go. White.
Carr to throw on second down. Out to the right here to Wilson. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. The offense on third down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. They're looking at third and a few inches. From the gun, Carr gonna look deep for Wilson. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. Now a timeout coming here defensively, as on 4th down, may as well make them punt it. Carlson able to put this one through, and that will knock things up here late in the first half. Now maybe a nice psychological boost there just to get back to even with that field goal as we head towards half.
Coaching 101 always says at halftime, play it like it's 0-0 on the scoreboard. Well, in this case, it's level, right? Same score each side. Just start over. Now you get the second half to play.
Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. He's going to loft one deep left side, and that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. So thanks to the late field goal, we are all tied up heading to intermission and ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Detroit! Detroit!
From the gun, Jackson. He's going to air one out. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. Got his man. It's Williams. That one goes for 24 yards.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Carr looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Eluding the pressure, and Brown's got it for a Raider touchdown. Antonio Brown, his 6th touchdown of the season, and the Raiders have moved out in front. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Detroit! Detroit!
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Brown. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down. One play has him up past the 40 already and another 1st and 10. Now Jackson on 1st down. Flushed out right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. They went zone blitz there, obviously successful. What makes the zone blitz successful?
Well, just go ahead and let's break the term down. Zone means they're going to play zone behind them in coverage, not man-to-man. But the zone blitz, why it's confusing to offenses? Because oftentimes defensive ends or defensive tackles will drop back into coverage, and linebackers or safeties will usually fill that gap and blitz in their spot, messing up the blocking responsibilities.
A good pickup there, a 22.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
They run. It's Mark Ingram. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll go as a loss of 5. And that's going to make it 3rd down and 10. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He'll buy some time right. On the run, he'll let this go deep. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Nevin Lawson with a pick. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Hey, here we go. White Monday.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Go, go. Get set, get set.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. It's complete to Grant. Taking it right down Broadway. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Ryan Grant, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move.
This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
56. Hurry up, here we go.
Jackson from the shotgun. Man open left side is Brown. A gain of 6 there on 1st. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Hurry up!
The toss right. This is Ingram. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
From the gun, it's Jackson. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the 1st. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Now a handoff to Ingram. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Hurry up, here we go.
On second down, Jackson. He dumps it down to Ingram. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Raven passing game getting in sync, another first down. Well, this is how you shape the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row, I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
On second down, here's Jackson. This will be caught at about the 5. And he's brought down. His big day receiving just keeps getting bigger. He's over 200 yards now on the afternoon. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run here with Ingram. And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line. No gain on the play, and it's going to be second and goal. Now Jackson on second down. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. In for the score, and the Ravens have cut it to within a score. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route. Ordinarily, it's probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll make it second down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
Well, they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another first down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively you've got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Ain't no way.
Right back to him on first down. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now they try the right side here. Finding some room at midfield. And a cutback, right sideline. And down to the 28-yard line. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. And his defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. And they'll go on the ground. They'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19. Well, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Back to throw, Carr. And that is incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
The kick by Carlson is good. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game. His 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Now Jackson. Buying time to his left. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. The Ravens on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Jackson to throw. Flush to his right. And that is incomplete.
And I think we'll probably see him go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They're in a good spot. 2-possession game, barely, but a 2-possession game here late. Now they just have to put this game on ice.
Let's face it, right now, they're talking about ball security, taking care of it, not allowing anything crazy to happen, because we've seen nutty things happen down the stretch, but they also have the security of the scoreboard. With that type of a lead, even if something goes haywire, they're still in good shape.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now they'll run it on the toss. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be, but we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
Carr to throw. Able to get away. But now he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here now, Johnny Townsend, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away.